Hey y'all, what's good? What's happening? A couple weekends ago, we decided to check out Tokyo X. This isn't our first time coming here. We've been coming since its first iteration when it was actually called Tokyo Night, and it was outside. So that's been a few years already. Um, you remember with this convention, it's not like an anime convention or like comic book or pop culture type thing. It's mainly for like Japanese culture, like strictly Japanese culture. So that's why you see like a lot of different JDMs. Like I saw a couple of R33 GTRs. I saw some R34 GTTs. I seen a Nissan Silva, a Toyota Supra. Let's see what else. I seen a few. I mean, it was a lot of cars, man. A lot of cars, and being that I love cars, it always makes me happy to see JDMs, man. Um, also, I took part in this ramen competition. But we'll discuss that later in the video when that time comes. But all in all, man, we absolutely love Tokyo X. And last year I think we gave it an A. I believe it was an A for that grade last year. And we always say that there's room for improvement. And from what we saw this year, the improvement that they've done for this year has been very noticeable. What do you think, Ardana? How do you feel about Tokyo X this year?
Well, just so you know, they improved by a lot compared to last year. You know what I do appreciate? They was able to utilize the space to its maximum potential because I like how they had the booths, the different vendors were arranged and where the cars were, the main stage. It seemed like everything was strategically placed where everybody's able to get where they need to be, and there was enough walking space. It wasn't like as crowded and everybody had breathing room, and then there was like a sitting area with tables and chairs and stuff. So overall, they did a great job utilizing the space. That's what I like.
And I don't want to be biased, and I'm going to try not to be, but I'm going to backdoor and say that they really did utilize the space very well. Having all the food in the back, they did that last year. Great idea. Um, and you was able, like, I seen like lines, but none of the lines felt like it was just obnoxiously long or whatever. And they moved like relatively fast. And there was a lot of different vendors there, like a lot of food vendors. So I thought that was a very good idea that they were able to do that. They had like a lot of different photo op spots all around. That was pretty dope. So that way it wasn't just like one or two things. As far as like the different actors slash voice actors, it didn't seem like they were cramped. They were I think on the right side of the facility, but it like I said, it wasn't like they were all just bunched up in one thing. You know, so I thought that was very, very, very good idea. Even walking in between like a lot of the different like artists, alley type stuff, or like a lot of the other vendors. I mean, as fluffy as I am, I did not feel like I was squished. Okay, I didn't have to like turn sideways or anything. Trying to walk up and down the aisles. So it was very, very nice, bro. Really appreciate that. Let's see what else. Also, there's we're gonna release a video about a certain something. Perhaps later on down the line, whenever that's done, it's gonna be a nice little surprise. I can't really say just yet, but it's gonna be a very, very nice surprise. Okay, so just be watching out for that video. Let's see what else. I honestly didn't really see anything that could have been like, I guess, some type of issue. Like I said, everything moved pretty good. Even like where they had the video game stuff at in the corner, they had enough seating back there. They had enough game systems, so it wasn't like people was like waiting in line to like play different things. Um, I mean, all in all, it was, a very good, very dope experience. And in my opinion, I do think a lot of conventions can actually take note of all of the things that they did correctly. Cause we've been doing these com reviews for quite some time now, and we have noticed a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of issues and whatnot. Going from different convention to convention, but I, I guess I could say we think that Tokyo X is probably one of the best to do it properly. Matter of fact, when we walked in, and I'm talking about to get our badges and stuff, the process didn't take long at all. Like, it was very quick, and that line was long as cheese. And I'm talking about breaking apart a freshly made mozzarella stick to see the cheese pull that long. And I did not feel like that I was going to be standing there all day. And we was able to get our badges and stuff just fine, bro. So, again, very dope thing. Really appreciate that. I'm not sure what ticketing service they use. Do you know, Ardano?
Ticketing service? Hold on, I'm trying to remember. I think it was, it might have been Tixer or some other ticketing service, but overall...
But it was under your name, right?
Yeah, it was under my name, so everything was fine. So I didn't have no issue getting badges and whatnot. So the ticketing process, it was very smooth.
Oh, so we didn't have to come up there with all our individual licenses and identification and show them?
No, correct. No, that is correct. All they did was, they got my name and they saw how many was under my account and they gave it to me. So it was no issue. It was very smooth. Dang,
I swear. Why can't most places be like that, bro? Anyway, that's here nor there. I'm not going to go off in a tangent on that. Let's see, what else? Being that it's about Japanese culture, there were a lot of different things that were happening on the main stage. I know me and Saban were able to go Saturday because, both Ardana and Kenya were in Dallas at the time. So we saw one of the, I guess you could say one of the J-pop singers. I think her name is Paida. I might be saying it wrong, but, we was able to watch her performance. She was pretty nice. It was very nice watching the crowd's reaction to all that she was singing. I thought that was pretty nice. I was able to see the Power Rangers panel, and them actually doing the whole morphing motion, pretty dope. I was actually able to check out the Studio Ghibli panel. Now, not gonna lie, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice, all that they talked about and everything. So, all in all, like I said, when they had this again next year or whenever tickets go on sale, I highly suggest y'all go ahead and check them out. You can't really go wrong, with going to these events. And what I really like is that this event is family oriented. So, when we were walking around, we saw a lot of kids, a lot of different families, right? So it was, a lot of things that was, of course, for the adults, but also a lot of things for the kids as well, right? So, if you, how can I say this, Ardano? Just come by and check it out, man. Like, it's a really, really good convention. Really good. Now, let's talk about this ramen eating competition, right? Now, I remember it might have been like a month or two ago, and I saw that they were talking about having this competition, and I knew the restaurant that was over it, which is Sujita. Now, we've gone to Sujita many times. Believe it or not, Saban actually won free ramen last year. Well, we went to the grand opening. So when I saw that they were doing free ramen for a year, I was like, nah, I think it's my time to shine, bro. And, I went up against a lot of different influencers. I want to say it was at least 7 or 8 of us. And, it was really cool talking with them, getting to know each other and everything. And I'm not gonna say I was trying to brag on myself or everything, but not gonna lie, I was on a mission, right? Now, Saban, when you watched me eat that ramen, right? How was it?
Well, I can describe that as, oh, it was way fast enough. I was like, yep. I saw that big glob of noodles he just picked up with his chopsticks, and like, yeah.
So you already knew that I was gonna win, huh?
Yeah, I saw the difference. No disrespect to everybody, but I saw the difference between it. It was like, yeah. I saw it was gonna happen in the end.
Now, keep in mind, you only have to use chopsticks to eat this, bro. Only chopsticks. So you really couldn't use your hands or anything. And I'm not gonna lie, what I did, I put on some music. It's this really, really fast-paced song. And I was like, nah, it's my time to shine, bro. And before I knew it, I think it was 2 minutes and 10 seconds passed, and I was done. All right, Donna, what you think? You know you saw the video, right?
Yeah, even though I wasn't there in person to witness it, I wish I was there because I would have bust out laughing. Watching the video, I'm like, oh my goodness. He like inhaled it like Kirby. Oh my god.
She said I inhaled it like Kirby, bro. But you know what though? For that particular restaurant, I really wanted it. Cause like I said, Sujita is probably one of our favorite ramen restaurants out here in Houston, and they don't only just do ramen. And they also do suki, which is the dipping noodles. They also do Japanese curry, which is like pork katsu or chicken katsu. They have like not steamed buns, but like pork chashu buns. I mean, they have like a lot of different foods there, bro. So, I have to thank Sujita and Tokyo X for having this event, and I was so glad that I won. And it was crazy because, like, when I got up, I was like, dang, did I really finish all that by myself? And I looked down the line, and I was like, dang, everybody else still eating. It was so crazy. And you know what? This was probably my first time doing an event like this. Now I've done like other food competitions, and I'm no competitive eater, not at all. But to be able to do something like that and win something really good like free ramen for a year, so dope. All right, one last thing. Now, Ardano, we gotta talk about, right? So, the video that you're gonna put out, right? Didn't a lot of kids and a lot of people like that?
Oh yeah, not just kids, but it was many people of various ages. It was hilarious. I was trying so hard not to laugh when I was recording it and taking pictures. It was freaking adorable.
Right. And what's crazy, we mainly did it for who?
Okay, so we did it for the Japanese voice actors that were there because one of them voiced one of the characters in the movie, and the other one, they voiced a character from a different movie, but overall, they worked with Studio Ghibli, so that's the main reason why we did it in the first place. Right.
And, honestly, it was absolutely amazing doing that because, I could tell that they really, really appreciate it. So as I said before, when Tokyo X put out these tickets and y'all can buy them, make sure y'all get them. Totally worth it. With that being said, y'all, we're going to holler at y'all later. As always, the Green Kids Adventure sign off. Y'all have a very, very blessed day. Peace. And we are out.